Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most
The woman in the mirror wasn't Meghan Markle anymore. The soft curves of her face had been carved into aristocratic angles, her nose narrowed to a duchess's point, her cheekbones lifted into royal perfection. When broadcaster Megyn Kelly said those 5 words on national television, what happened to her face? She didn't just ask a question. She exposed the desperate transformation of a woman literally reshaping herself to become the royalty she'd never truly been.
This is deeply problematic on a number of levels. Number one, here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle. We don't like you. And no amount of posting videos that you think are going to humanize you will make us like you.
But to understand how we got here, how the biracial actress who once celebrated her heritage ended up erasing every trace of it from her face, we need to go back to when the mirror first became her enemy.
A staff in London, she can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. So no amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work. You know, if you actually are a good person.
The change started subtly in 2020, just months after the Sussexes fled Britain. First, it was the nose, slightly refined, barely noticeable. Then came the cheekbones, lifted just enough to catch the light differently. The jawline followed, sharpened from its natural roundness into something more angular, more Windsor-adjacent. Beverly Hills cosmetic surgeons, speaking off the record, call it the aristocratic package, a specific set of procedures designed to create old money bone structure.
I think to the moment, to the child, and truly to like the sanctity of what goes on for any humans who are actually in that situation. She's drunk on her own ego. Your thoughts?
By 2023, comparison photos were circulating in WhatsApp groups among Hollywood insiders. The Megyn from Suits looked like a distant cousin of the woman appearing at charity galas. Her features had evolved from approachably beautiful to untouchably perfect. The warmth that once radiated from her smile had frozen into something practiced, porcelain. But the real shift wasn't just physical, it was strategic.
Right, like there's maybe a thought that they have a private moment like that, and maybe it's nice between them, and it's a nice memory of a silly moment before she gives birth. What it feels like to me is she's in a PR firm meeting and someone says, we need to human.
November 2024 marked the unveiling of what PR insiders called Megyn 3.0. The occasion was her birthday celebration at a Beverly Hills restaurant so exclusive it doesn't advertise. The guest list read like a carefully curated LinkedIn page. Studio executives, brand CEOs, social media influencers with 8-figure followings. Missing were her pre-royal friends, her Suits castmates, even Prince Harry. The professional photographer captured every angle of her transformed face, while guests offered tributes that sounded suspiciously identical. Inspiring, visionary, empowered.
You go through your phone, find some fun moments of you and Harry, and we'll post them and everyone will like you again. You can't manufacture that stuff, right? It feels fake. It feels weird. I don't understand why they would think something like that would work. But it's
one attendee, speaking anonymously, described the evening as feeling more like a product launch than a birthday party. Megyn worked the room with mathematical precision, spending exactly 3 minutes with each group, never allowing candid moments, always positioning herself in optimal lighting. When someone tried to take a selfie, her publicist intervened, insisting only approved images would be released.
These are not people who are just posting on a whim, right? Like this is an entire industry. As I know you've covered this in depth. This is a whole industry. They've got people working on this 24 hours a day to try to make this Meghan Markle thing into a thing. I don't think it's been very.
The video that broke the internet came 3 days later. Posted to her newly reactivated Instagram, it showed Megyn in what appeared to be an intimate moment with Harry, her hand on her pregnant belly. But viewers noticed something immediately wrong. The belly moved strangely, appearing to shift and bump in ways that defied anatomy. Comments flooded in within minutes, not about the tender moment she'd tried to capture, but about what looked like a prosthetic pregnancy belly.
Successful so far, but
No.
I feel like this is just a blatant attempt at it.
It sort of reminds me of when Chrissy Teigen had what we now know was an abortion, which she at the time told us was a miscarriage, and posted photos of her crying, like hysterical in the hospital room. It was so weird. First of all, who takes pictures of themselves?
Megyn Kelly's response was swift and brutal. On her SiriusXM show, she didn't just question the authenticity of the video. She dissected Megyn's entire transformation. She can't keep staff in London or Montecito because she's a bully obsessed with her own image, Kelly stated. No amount of humanizing videos will work when people can see you've literally reconstructed your face.
When they're crying, and then post them online, especially after losing a baby? Look, what the F? I don't get it. This is not losing a baby, thank God, but it is just as intimate and none of our effing business. But
the observation that followed was even more damaging. Kelly pointed out that Megyn's transformation seemed designed to distance her from her Black heritage, the very heritage she'd once proudly discussed in essays and interviews. The wider nose she'd inherited from her mother, Doria, had been refined to European standards. The soft fullness of her features had been carved away. She'd essentially undergone what cosmetic surgeons privately call ethnic reduction.
Needs us to love her, so she will do whatever it takes, and she doesn't know how to make us love her. The other thing I'm going to say, and I know this is weird, but there's one of those conspiracy theories on the internet that she might not have actually carried her babies, one or both, that they may have used a surrogate. Trust me, because I'm neck deep in all this.
The backlash was immediate and devastating. Black women who'd once seen Megyn as representation felt betrayed. White audiences who'd admired her natural beauty felt deceived. The consensus across demographics was unanimous. In trying to become more royal, she'd become less real.
News around these two. And there are many people who long before today are convinced she used surrogates and that her pregnancies were fake, one or both of them. And this is the only time that I've actually indulged the theory, because if we can show that video again, I don't know, can we show it without playing the weird sound?
But the timeline tells an even more troubling story. Each surgical adjustment corresponded with a professional setback. After Spotify terminated her podcast deal, her nose became narrower. Following Netflix's lukewarm reception of their documentary, her cheekbones rose higher. When her children's book flopped, her jawline sharpened. It was as if she believed each failure could be fixed with a scalpel. Dr. Patricia Mills, a Beverly Hills surgeon who hasn't treated Megyn but analyzed her transformation for a medical journal, estimates the total cost of such procedures would exceed $300,000. The work includes possible rhinoplasty, buccal fat removal, chin reshaping, and extensive filler work. This isn't maintenance, Mills explained. This is architectural reconstruction. The social cost has been even higher. Sources from Montecito describe Megyn as increasingly isolated, surrounded only by paid staff and strategic allies. Her 43rd birthday party epitomized this. Not a single genuine friend from her past attended. The women she'd called sisters during her wedding have vanished from her life. Even her mother, Doria, appears less frequently in public with her daughter, reportedly uncomfortable with the physical transformation. Harry's response has been telling. In recent appearances, he's seemed disconnected, often standing physically apart from his wife. Body language experts note he no longer looks at her the way he once did, with adoration. Now his glances seem confused, as if searching for someone he used to know. Friends report he's expressed concern about the procedures, only to be shut down with accusations of not supporting her evolution. The PR machinery around Megyn has gone into overdrive trying to control the narrative. Statements about aging gracefully and subtle refinements fool no one when side-by-side photos show a complete facial restructuring. Her team has tried positioning it as empowerment, as taking control of her image, but the public sees something different. Desperation masquerading as self-improvement. The pregnancy video controversy added another layer of deception. Experts in photo and video analysis pointed out multiple anomalies beyond the strange belly movement. Megyn's face showed no pregnancy-related changes, no fullness, no skin changes, nothing that typically accompanies pregnancy. Combined with her history of tightly controlling all imagery, it fueled speculation about surrogacy, about whether the entire narrative of her motherhood had been manufactured. Industry insiders reveal that Megyn's transformation has become a cautionary tale in Hollywood. Casting directors privately admit she's now too perfect for relatable roles, but not established enough for the aristocratic parts she seems to be chasing. She exists in an uncanny valley, too altered to be authentic, not prestigious enough to be truly elite. The financial implications are staggering. Her American Riviera Orchard brand, built on authenticity and California casual luxury, has struggled to launch. Focus groups consistently report that consumers don't trust someone who's so dramatically altered their appearance to sell them lifestyle products. The disconnect between her manufactured image and her authentic living brand is too vast to bridge. Even her speaking engagements have dried up. Event organizers report that audiences find her new appearance distracting and off-putting. The very forums where she once commanded six figures now politely decline her availability. The woman who wanted to be the most famous face in the world has become a face people don't recognize or trust. The comparison to other royals is particularly damning. Kate Middleton, despite being older, has maintained her natural appearance with minimal intervention. Queen Camilla, decades older, presents herself authentically. Even celebrity royalty like Beyoncé and Oprah have aged naturally in the public eye. Meghan alone has chosen this dramatic reconstruction, and the contrast is jarring. Mental health professionals, speaking generally about such transformations, describe them as potential signs of body dysmorphia or profound identity crisis. The compulsion to continuously alter one's appearance often masks deeper psychological struggles with self-acceptance and belonging. In Meghan's case, the timing suggests each procedure was an attempt to fix external problems with internal solutions. Today, Meghan Markle exists in a strange limbo. The woman who once wrote eloquently about being proud of her mixed heritage has essentially erased it from her face. The actress who charmed audiences with her natural warmth has frozen it into aristocratic coldness. The Duchess who left the palace for freedom has imprisoned herself in an image more restrictive than any royal protocol. Her recent appearances show someone increasingly uncomfortable in their own skin. Literally, the procedures have created an uncanny valley effect where nothing moves quite naturally. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Her expressions seem delayed, processed through too many filters of self-consciousness. She's become a walking Instagram filter, perfect in still photos, but unsettling in motion. The tragedy is that Meghan had everything she's now desperately trying to manufacture. Natural beauty that photographed beautifully, genuine warmth that drew people in, an authentic story that resonated globally. In trying to become more than she was, she's become so much less. Her transformation raises uncomfortable questions about race, identity, and belonging in elite spaces. Did she alter her features because she believed her natural appearance wasn't regal enough? Was this internalized racism manifesting through surgery? Or simple vanity spiraling into obsession? The answer matters less than the result. A woman so desperate to fit an ideal that she carved away everything that made her real. The mirror that once showed a biracial actress from Los Angeles now reflects something else entirely. Not quite royal, not quite real, suspended between who she was and who she'll never quite be. The procedures can reshape bone and tissue, but they can't manufacture the one thing Meghan seems to want most: genuine acceptance from a world that valued her most when she was simply herself. The question isn't whether Meghan will admit to the procedures. Hollywood rarely admits to anything. It's whether she can find her way back to authenticity before the gap between her image and reality becomes unbridgeable. Can someone who's literally restructured their face to fit an impossible ideal ever return to being genuine? Or has Meghan Markle permanently traded her truth for a crown that was never really hers to wear?